Roberts here with your free agency deep cuts for week 5. And this week, we're going deep. Aside from one player, all of these players are rostered less than 15% in Yahoo. So this is a list of very available players. We'll kick things off at quarterback, and this will be short because I've talked about this guy multiple times. If you're looking for a quarterback to stream this week, I would look no further than Taylor Heinicke. I know it's tough to buy into, but his fantasy production has actually been extremely steady. Weeks 2 through 4, he's been a QB1, and New Orleans' defense is not as scary as it looks. Daniel Jones threw for just over 400 yards with 2 touchdowns last week. Taylor Heinicke could give another top 12 performance. Moving on to running backs. Unless you play in deep leagues or Dynasty, Chris Evans is available on waivers. And if your league is full PPR, Evans is a risk that you just might want to take. On my waivers list this week, Samaje Perine was on the back end, and the reason for that is I just didn't think that they were going to give a full volume workload to Samaje Perine if Joe Mixon can't play. And lo and behold, here we are. Mixon is trending towards being out, and Cincinnati announced that yes, Perine and Evans will be operating in a committee if he can't go. Evans is more likely to be utilized as a pass-catching back, so he could be a good spot start for you in flex for PPR. Another PPR play is Brandon Bolden. I know a 31-year-old running back who has never really done much is not the most attractive start, but hear me out. The reality is, Bill Belichick just does not trust J.J. Taylor. He's not going to be an option. New England plays Houston in a game where the running back should benefit, and I do expect a big game out of Damian Harris on the ground, but the pass-catching responsibilities are falling on Brandon Bolden. He was 6 of 6 last week for 51 yards, so he can give you a double-digit performance in PPR. Now let's head over to wide receivers. As of Thursday, Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton are still not practicing, and that means all systems go for KADARIUS TONEY. Dare I say, it's Toney time, because he has a fantastic matchup against Dallas this week, who has been a turnover machine, but they are very vulnerable through the air with volume. Quarterbacks averaging over 300 yards per game against them. I would expect another big day for KADARIUS TONEY. Another receiver that is less exciting than someone like KADARIUS TONEY, but he has been a pillar of consistency. I'm not even joking. For the past 3 weeks, Sammy Watkins has caught 4 of 7 targets. He's been giving a steady floor of between 9 to 14 points in PPR. I'll take it as a spot fill-in. Now moving on to the next receiver, Atlanta pass catchers that aren't named Cordero Patterson haven't exactly been highly productive in the way that we expected. But with Calvin Ridley out for Sunday's game against the Jets, his double-digit targets gotta go somewhere. So where are they heading? Obviously, Kyle Pitts and Cordero Patterson are likely to be the primary pass catchers, but Olamide Zaccheaus will actually be the top actual wide receiver for the Falcons this week. It's worth a shot to add him and take a chance on production. And on to our final receiver, or maybe even receivers. The entire Detroit wide receiver core is highly available. Quintez Cephas, Khalif Raymond, and Amon-Ra St. Brown are all 15% or lower rostered. Now the trouble is deciding which one of them to actually go with. While Khalif Raymond has been technically the hotter hand over the last couple of games, I'm leaning towards Quintez Cephas. Aside from week 3 against Baltimore, Cephas has actually been the more consistent of the 3 receivers. And I think he may match up the best against Minnesota's defense. He could be the one that stands out this week. And wrapping things up at tight end, Tyler Conklin is my deep add for this week. Week 4 against Cleveland was tough, but the encouraging thing to take away is that he still had 6 targets. I expect Conklin to have another solid week of 6+ targets with higher yardage. Tight ends have actually done pretty well against Detroit this season. Robert Tonyan has been a massive disappointment overall, but the one goodish game he had was in week 2 against Detroit. I feel very comfortable rolling with Conklin in a pinch this week. And that wraps things up for this week's free agency deep cuts. Thank you for watching. Good luck with your lineups, and I will see you again next week.